commitment is not 50%, it's not 75%, it's 100% every day. And I recognize some days you have bad days, but you still, even on those bad days, maybe you can't give 100, but you can give 95%. And that's what it is. It's your ability to stay focused on what you have to do.
How about how important is persistence?
Persistence, if you don't have it, you're not going to make it. Because when you look at persistence, you're going to have to be able to accept the good with the bad. And just like I said, sometimes you have to learn how to lose before you win. And persistence is if you lose, you got to step right back into it and win.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice, that's another kind of a sore point with me, because these kids at this age, that's one of the good things about high school swimming. It's short term. It's like 3 months. But sacrifice goes into commitment. And if you're not willing, they think they're missing something. These kids think they're missing something. It's just like between you and I don't want this.
That's right.
This weekend, we got a big meet, the last meet before the state championships. I'm going to our club, and there's a big dance coming up. So what do the girls do? What do they want to do? And that's where they're going. So that means it's going to be 5 weeks before they have their next meet, which is the state championship. You can't go in rusty.
Right. So then you would say that, tell me how important sacrifice is to an athlete.
I think it's one of the most important characteristics that an individual has. He's got to be able to look at himself in the mirror and say, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it, and what price are you going to pay to get that?
Right along that same thing with sacrifice, if in this 3-year run or 4-year run, because you finished runner-up,
yeah,
have you had to go to some swimmer and say, I'm going to have to maybe pull you out of this?
Oh yeah, I've done it several times.
I need you to talk about that.
Yeah.
You don't have to name names.
No. Oh yeah. Normally what I do, I give them the benefits of the doubt probably for about 3/4 of the season. But when we start getting ready to the competition, I'm talking about like Metro and State, then I got to really sit down and look at it and say, hey, I'm going to have to switch some people around because they're not getting the job done. And if you don't have people to fill the slots, you're not going to win. And I've knocked some people out.
And you've moved some people. And,
yep.
And yet that has contributed to the whole. Talk about that.
Yes, you move them. It gives they step up to the plate. They think there's an opportunity for them, and it paid off for us in the long run. I'll admit sometimes you make mistakes, but that's a gamble that you take, and you got to be willing to take that gamble.
Another word for you to talk about: respect.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's like I told these kids, and they're young kids, I said, let me tell you, I don't give a damn whether you like me or not, but I want you to respect me. And if you can't do that, pick up your equipment, go out that front door, wave goodbye. That's simple.
Hard work. Tell me about an athlete. Don't say any names, but envision this person, a hard worker. What do they do? What have you noticed a characteristic of a swimmer that you had that was a hard worker?
Well, I think the most important thing about a hard worker is they got to have the belief in themselves that in the long run, hard work pays off. And it may be not this year, maybe not next year, but in the long run, it pays off. And we've had some swimmers that have broken their backs and still have never made a point. But they got a great attitude, and you need those people on the team. You don't need all the stars. You need the kids with the good attitude.
Yeah, go ahead.
How often do you practice them? How many hours a day? How many times a week? And then
we go-
and then how do you motivate them to stay committed to practice and answer to him?
Well, that's very simple. You don't if you don't practice, you don't swim.
And how often they practice it?
Okay, the top kids will go. I don't put the people in there that I don't believe. This goes back to hard work. Just throw them into two going doubles. In other words, that isn't going to help them. That's going to destroy them in the long run. And then they'll really start losing faith in themselves. So we go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is during school year. In the morning, and then 6 days a week in the afternoon.
Wow.
We go like we were in the water this morning at 5 o'clock
5 to what?
to 7.
Wow. And how many hours a day during the week? Afternoon.
Well, in the afternoon they'll go 2 hours.
So 4 hours a day.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. I don't know what they're doing. I'll be up there. I want you to tell them, get them started. Have them go 20, 50 switch stroke on the minute.
So roughly 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
Wow. That's commitment.
Yeah, that is commitment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you don't make that commitment, you're not going to make it. And there's a lot of people that just want to, kids are funny. Everyone is here for different reasons. You don't find every kid having the same motivational factor. Some are here because they want to be part of something that's successful. Some are here because they like the camaraderie that's with the team. Some are here to see what goodies they can get out of it. So you take any child and you separate them in two different rooms and you say, give me your definition of success. Give me your definition of success. Why are you here and why are you here? And you'll be surprised at disparity in the answers.
And because it's like that, you do have to, even though you want to treat them all the same, you do have to kind of work them differently, right?
Oh yeah.
Talk about that.
Everyone is a different individual. And some can take the pressure and others can't. And if you see that the pressure is beginning to affect them, then what I do is I give them an option. I say, look, here's the way it is. You can either stay where you are, we can pull you out of doubles, or we can move you down a group. So I said, I'm going to give you 1 week to decide what you want to do. And let them be part of the decision making.
What have you seen from, you've spent a lot of years doing this. What have you seen from the majority of the kids that leave out of here? Not that they've gone to become big-time swimmers anywhere else.
All right,
What do you find out about these kids?
I will tell you this. I've been here for 35 years. And in all my time, we probably have a close to 95% graduation rate from college. Whether it be swimming and scholastics, but we've had a very, very, very high success rate. And I mean at some good schools.
That's good.
Like the grade point average of these swimmers is like 3.8. That's pretty doggone good.
So really, you could say, and please say this, that all this hard work helps to translate into the classroom.
Of course it does. It's a self-discipline. It's a discipline. It's a discipline. And I'll tell you, I don't like to quote this, but it's unfortunate. One of the things that I see today in our society, and it really, really upsets me, and maybe it's because I didn't have any parents. I don't know. But what really upsets me is that the kids that are having problems at home, they're not getting the guidance from their parents. And not only that, if they got older siblings, it's the older siblings that are raising them, not the parents.
Yeah.
And it's very reflective. I wouldn't dare bring it up to them because if I do it on a personal basis.
Do you feel?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
With that said, do you feel that you personally have made a difference in these kids' lives?
Oh, there's no. To me, I don't think there's any if and buts about it. I know them, and I know their parents better through them than parents know themselves.
Do you feel a certain responsibility to kind of take on that role as a grandparent or a parent?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes, most definitely. That's, to me, that's part of our responsibility. If you can help a child get through tough times, not only are they going to be a success, but they'll look down the road and they'll look back and say, geez, look where I am today. Maybe I wouldn't have been here. And, you know, they gripe and moan and complain. And the most important thing to me, if they stop complaining, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they've lost their motivation.
Because you've stopped, because they're not complaining, you've stopped pushing them hard enough.
Right.
As hard as they need to be pushed.
Right.
Right. You know, I want to go back a little bit now. You know, you came out of an orphanage and you went to a college. And I see how you're shaking. You're trying to downplay that a little bit, but were there people in your life like you that kind of took you to the side and said, talk about that?
I would say it was probably my football coach at the orphanage. He was a retired full bird from the Marines. His name was Jim Falk, and he was like a father to all of us. And he certainly set the example for us. And he was the one that got me the scholarship at college. And unfortunately, about 5 years ago, he died. He's a great man.
Do you feel like you have tried to repay him through some of the stuff?
Oh yeah.
That.
I think to me, the thing is, you look back. I didn't have a mom, and I didn't have a dad, but I had something to prove, and I wanted to prove to him that what he did for me, I'm bringing back to him.
Okay. Good. Beautiful.
A group of individuals are not going to have success. It has to be molded into a team. And if that works out, then I think you'll end up having success.
Then to repeat, I mean, it's like,
Well, little dolphin kicks off the wall.
I'll go for the iron.
No, go. All right, let's go. Let's go, that's fast legs, people.